Welcome to the bold analysis. If you are a Kenyan adult and you believe the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Odinga or rather entered into a coalition agreement with the president to unite the country, then let me repeat, the country is far away from achieving that unity. Right Honorable Raila and the president are not together for the unity. In this podcast, I'm going to expose to you and demonstrate clearly why what is seen as a plan to unite the country has the potential of putting this country into very serious trouble. And Raila Odinga and William Ruto, they must call the troops to order. If the troops are not called to order, we are treading very dangerous route. Kindly take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell and like our videos. And subscription is absolutely free. When you click that subscription button, utakuwa subscribe. And remember that your data is safe on both front end and back end of the channel. So no one can breach. Actually, the only thing, I cannot even access your email if you click. So you'll never receive any email from somewhere that because there was a spam. No. Subscription is absolutely free. The advantage here is if you subscribe to a channel, you'll be able to receive notifications whenever videos are published. Now, take some time and listen to Johanna Ngeno.
Rais Ruto atakuwa katikati, Raila atawekwa mkono ya kulia, wengine wakina Mudavadi watawekwa kwa mkono ya kushoto. Raila akuwe prime minister, Ruto akuwe rais, naye Musalia akuwe deputy prime minister, na Kibiki akuwe deputy president. Sio ni sawa? Lakini itaenda mbele namna hiyo. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanafikiria labda wanangojea hii serikali ianguke, hii serikali ianguke, tumejipanga sawa sawa. Na hizo ndio viti iko. Kiti ya prime minister iko. Kiti ya rais iko. Kiti ya deputy president iko. Kiti ya deputy prime minister iko. So tumejaza wale wote ambao tunajua ujaziri yao inatakikana ndio Kenya yetu iende mbele.
And I call upon Kalonzo Musyoka, now that your brother Raila has left you, I think you have very limited options right now. I urge you to actually join Raila and His Excellency the President, so that at least we unite this country. For those of you who think that the division between the President and his former Deputy President would yield any fruit, let me tell you that that's a waste of time. The Deputy President was impeached for many reasons that made him being impeached. And I call upon Rigathi Gachagua just to relax. Once you've been impeached, you just go back to the drawing board and don't separate or don't cause division amongst the Kenyans. The position that Raila would be given would not affect the other players. After all, even right now in Kenya, we do not have a prime minister. So I'm not seeing any issue because the office that Mudavadi is holding, the office that Deputy President is holding, those are independent offices.
Nasema ati Musalia ametumana hapa kusema pole, sijui nani ametumana. Unajua lazima tuseme ukweli. Lazima kama mtu ni rafiki yako, awe ni rafiki yako ya ukweli. Ingekuwa Mluya mwingine amekufa hapa ni mtu anajiweza hivi, akina Musalia wangekuwa hapa. Wangekuwa hapa. Na hakuna mtu rafiki ya Musalia na hao Waluya wote viongozi, nikiuliza huyu rafiki yangu kiongozi hapa, huyu alikuwa rafiki ya Rama sana, na ndiye amekuja hapa. Wangekuwa hapa. Sasa wanasifia huyu jamaa wa signature. Wacha nikwambie bwana, mbinguni iko na matata mingi, wenye wataenda mbinguni ni wachache sana.
Speaking about that 2027. Come on. Johana Ngeno is a close confidant of William Ruto. These are the fellows from, and today let me put a disclaimer and tell you. When you hear an MP or a senator talking from Rift Valley, without any doubt, something said by someone from Ruto's Kenyan access, don't take it lightly. It is something that is there. Johana Ngeno cannot make that statement without really. This is not, even if it has not gone to Parliament or some formal thing, this is what is in the informal corridors. Isn't that just reincarnation on BBI? Isn't that just the return of BBI? And this is coming. I want you to mark that when Right Honorable Raila Odinga was penning down the signature with President William Ruto, one of the things that was very clear in that agreement, and they said, this does not formalize a coalition party between ODM and UDA. The next day he was in Kiambu sending signals that no one has endorsed William Ruto. In fact, William Ruto came to me. Ati sasa watu mambo ilikuwa mbaya. And Kenyans will decide in 2027. But there, the MP is talking about Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Vice President, then the President. This is some of the things that former President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to cure in that BBI when he said that we have emotive and highly competitive elections of winner take all. And that is why our elections are do or die. But with the arrival of handshakes, probably handshakes are solving winner takes all, because after handshakes, the opposition takes over government. Let me tell you, when there was a handshake between, I've always told you, genuinely, the handshake between Raila and Right Honorable Raila Odinga and former President Uhuru Kenyatta was very genuine. This one here, the Raila Odinga team are taking over government. They've been handed over treasury, and now they have the back budget and appropriation committee in the National Assembly. Nakwambia si mchezo. They've taken over. So, this is the new agenda. I want to tell Raila Odinga's handlers and President Ruto, in 2027, it will not be politically potent and it will not have the traction when you bring up the positions. But one thing you are seeing, the signal being sent here is about a referendum. You will not have a prime minister. If someone is going to tell Raila Odinga that if Raila Odinga makes this mistake and enters in some agreement that is going to be made a prime minister without a referendum, hey, take that to bank. The state has all the machineries. What is the interest? What is William Ruto doing now? I'm seeing the people from my side, of course, running very vitriol narratives about tribe A, tribe B, we are in government, they felt it. And I'm seeing those in social media. William Ruto si mjinga. He wants to do all that. Immediately after 2027 general election, hey, hakuna kitu kama Raila prime minister. If that prime minister is not in the constitution, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. If that prime minister is not in the constitution, forget about it. And people are saying, oh, Raila is going to give us. Now let me show you. The second observation that I want to show you that that pact is going to, has a potential of even dividing the country more, is this. people have started demanding for their side of the cake on the perception is coming that the government has now been two-legged, has now been divided between Raila and Ruto. And people have started demanding that Raila to give us a share of what you've been given by Ruto. And we said, and we warned about this. It is not true that the government has been divided between Raila and Ruto. It is not true. Let's get it. What is happening is that President Ruto has found an opportunity to capture some few people and make them fat within ODM party, and to make Raila Odinga comfortable and get and put what Kalonzo says temporary comfort. That is what is happening. Now, I want to play for you a soundbite of Osoro.
You saw the events that happened yesterday in Gusii Stadium. It's very unfortunate that it had to go that direction. But again, on the flip side, we must ask ourselves, on the flip side, what exactly are people protesting over? Why are people agitated in our villages? Why? It is because from the brotherhood that we've supported over the years, and this I must say, we have somehow not benefited much from the support we've given our neighbors. That is the problem. And this will stick. The other day there was change of leadership in the National Assembly, in the Senate. Not a single, and when we relinquished, the Kenya Kwanza relinquished some leadership to the Azimio part out of this broad-based arrangement. Not a single Kisi was given the chairmanship from ODM. Not a single one in a Senate. In a Senate. Now, regional. Those are the questions that we need to ask, and I'm sure the media is here. Pick it. It's also who has spoken. Because we must say it. And that is why, as a community, we must ask ourselves these questions, so that we are not taken for a ride by any political leader. We respect the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, we respect His Excellency the President, and even going forward, as we appreciate what we have, because we appreciate a lot of what we have. Much of the things we have in this government right now, many of the things we have in this government, are because of the efforts some of us put in the last one. What about the efforts that were given by the other brothers from the Azimio coalition? Hizi zetu ni sawa. Waziri yuko na zingine ziko. Na hata PS by God's grace zitakuja. Lakini what about the effort in the broad-based arrangement by our brothers from Azimio? Ama mimi naongea mbaya? Si ni kweli? So I think going forward we have to as we appreciate this sector, we consider the arrangement on the other, on the future engagements. And finally, management.
That is Osoro speaking to Kisii community, and he's saying Raila amepata uko kwa parliament, hajapatia Kisii. Look at that. So the country have started talking that language. That is the chief whip in the National Assembly. These are the people that you believe. That is the chief whip. And there is a problem going on. Let me demonstrate the third one. William Ruto and Raila Odinga decided that my member of parliament, and congratulations to Samuel Atandi Onunga, my member of parliament, for being elected unopposed as the chairman of the Budget and Appropriation Committee. And the whole, I've always said, and I've always been saying in this channel is anchored on three pillars. Is it legal? Is it justice? Is it morally right? Is it human? That is the question. Ruto and Raila could still make a turn to be the budget chairman. But look at how they arrived at it. The whole thing doesn't look good. A day before election, that was on Tuesday. I think that was on a Monday. That was on Tuesday, if I'm not wrong. A day before, without a substantive order, there was just a point of order that was raised by Omboko Milemba. And from a point of order that was raised, both the majority leader and minority leader, Ichung'wa and Junet, took time to castigate Ndende Nyoro. Now, ordinarily, what is supposed to happen here is the speaker should not allow the House to debate the conduct of a member without a substantive order. Yes. It must be presented formally. Now, they choreographed so that the whole House, look at Mboko Milamba from Western, and then you look at Ndindi Nyoro from the other side. So you realize the whole country, the House, especially the Western wing, was whipped to believe that Ndindi Nyoro was taking resources to his constituency. And this is supposed to propagate that narrative of 1 versus 41. If this is what that handshake between Honorable Raila and President Ruto is, we are making it more divisive. And I think I listened to my friend Bonnie Halwale saying yesterday that the unity should not be constructed on the premise of bring X to remove Y, of remove Y to bring W. The way that was done, it's not in good shape. And there is a lie that has been said here for long. Let me tell you. I will analyze something about Ndindi Nyoro later. But Ichung'wa was in that position, Budget and Appropriation Committee in the last Parliament. If there is a latitude that someone can actually influence so many funds to go to his constituency, then Ichung'wa would have done that. When he had the opportunity to redirect housing, the road maintenance levy to his Kikuyu constituency, he did it. And someone is trying to lie to the Western team that wakipata hiyo, so they will be able to direct resources to Nyanza, more resources to Nyanza. Or there is an impression to be created that now more resources will. It's just an impression, to be created in the minds of voters. Well, Real says there is nothing like that. Resources are divided. Na president anajua hii tunataka ikuwe hivi, hii tunataka ikuwe hivi. And people are making it. The other fourth observation, why we are actually, it has the potential of cracking the country. Wetangula and Nani are not happy with whatever is going on, and there was a report that if they're not sure, Mudavadi might make his way out of the Ruto administration if the direction is going to take that direction. But can you look at how Raila's an MCA, you know, look at this MCA. Look at this MCA. I interviewed Mobimba when sometimes I used to work in some community radio station. This person is normally very vocal. At one point, he was even arrested of hate speech.
Kwa majina ni Mheshimiwa Absalom Odhiambo Nyango. Mimi ni MCA Korogosho Ward. Kwa hivyo leo nimekuja kukashifu ile maneno ambaye mafans wa Shabana walifanyia His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga huko Gusii Stadium. Na mimi nataka niambie hao mashabiki wa Kisii, mulikosea Raila heshima ambaye Raila hajaikosewa heshima. Na nyinyi wa Kisii mmekuwa nyinyi na Wajaluo tumeshikana kitu moja. Lakini ile kitu ambaye mlionyesha Raila Amolo Odinga Jumapili ambaye imepita, hiyo sisi hatutakubali. Nataka niambie governor, huyo governor Nyaribo, tunasikia wewe ndio ulipanga hiyo maneno na ndugu ya Matiang'i ambaye ni CCM wako wa huko Nyamira County sijui wapi. I want to tell you governor, if you dare Raila Amolo Odinga, we will deal with you. Nao mashabiki wa Shabana FC, sasa nyinyi ni kama mmetuguza huku chini. Ukiguza Raila Amolo Odinga ni kama umeguza mayai yetu. Tunataka tuambie mashabiki wa hiyo timu, tumewapatia 24 hours mkuwa apologize kwa Raila Amolo Odinga, la sivyo itakuwa ni add-on. Mutakuwa na magames hapa Nairobi, amutaingia kwa hizo stadium because ile kitu mulifanya kitu ya upuzi zaidi. We cannot allow kuaibisha Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Odinga hajawahi ekoliwa ati mnarusha maviti na kutoka nje. Raila Odinga amekuja kusupport team yenu. And then nyina upuzi yenu ati mnasema ati Raila must go. Mimi nataka niambia watu, kama unaona Raila alikusaliti, chukua baba yako, chukua mama yako kwa street. Raila pia amechoka na ni mzee ambaye amepigania hii taifa. Ati wewe unasema Raila ati must go. Ana go wapi? And I want to tell Kisii people, na si Kisii wote, ni hawa minjangarika wa Shabana FC. If you are not going to apologize, my friend, tutadeal na nyinyi vilivyo. Na narudia, ule naona Raila Odinga alimsaliti, chukua baba yako, chukua mama yako, umpeleke kwa barabara ende andamani. Kwa nini ile iliandikwa hapo eti Mjaluo ni kuandamana kila siku? Tafadhali wa Kisii, tumekaa na heshima na nyinyi, lakini naona ni kama mtaka kuharibu hiyo heshima. Itakuwa ni hiyo timu yenu versus Gor Mahia. Tuone sasa nani ndio wajinga. Hiyo Shabana versus Gor Mahia tupatane. Tuone kama mpira itachezwa hiyo siku. Nonsense.
Just formative, just first few months of the Kenya Kwanza administration. Such Raila Odinga mania, and they're making very inflammatory statements profiling those who heckled Raila in Kisii. And while someone does that in the interest of being portrayed as defending Raila, but can we look at the damage that this causes? And that is why I say Raila will be heckled. Heckling Raila is the easiest now for the people because he doesn't have the level of the security detail that the president have. And of course, Raila heckled is now going to be more attractive to media. I'm telling you. It's going to be more attractive to media. Was heckled in Kisii. I can tell you the possibility of him being heckled is also there. Is still there. So, and especially the minority communities. And I'm not saying Kisii minority. But these ones that border, go to Kuria. Kuria will start asking, what have you given us? Kisii is asking, what have you given us? People have forgotten that the cake now has to be divided equally by the president. So Raila Odinga team, these fellows, I believe these fellows need to be locked up. Yeah. The DCI needs to crack down on these characters. Because these are not the statements that really work in the interest of unity of the country. And let me say this. The only way for Raila and Ruto to work around that unity thing, talk, that one, go and tell to the birds. That one is not there. It is just the interest. Raila should maintain his stand on governance. What the talk should be about, the SHA is not working and how it should be fixed. But the country should not talk about, we are going together to create a prime minister. The creating those positions is not a sign of unity because anyway, that position is going to go to one person. Prime minister is going to Raila Odinga. If you give Raila Odinga that prime minister. So that is an indication that now you've united the country. Are you sure? Natembea is spreading another venom against Railas, another Luo, against Luo in Trans Nzoia. I'm telling you, this thing is very dangerous. He's talking, and you know what Natembea wants to achieve? Natembea wants to tell the Western that we are not going to get it through Raila. So they must be very careful. Just maintain the stand on governance. The second issue, interpretation of this is this. There is a feeling, the masses feel, that while the political big boys are coming together, they seem to have dropped call on governance. They seem to have dropped the things that are affecting the people. The poetic talk is not going to work. And lastly, we want to mobilize around tribal groupings. And the more we go mobilizing around tribal groupings, we are getting it wrong. We are getting it wrong. You need to look at a photo of, look at this photo of Rigathi and Kalonzo being received in Kajiado. Rigathi alikuwa received na crowd, Kalonzo alikuwa received na some few people. Is the country listening to Rigathi because Rigathi is their tribe? No. Look at how Rigathi was received in Kajiado. No. It is because Rigathi is talking about the issues that wananchi wants to be addressed. We must get it right. Otherwise, the tribal mobilization, it's an old, tired scheme that is going to plunge this country into more troubles. Thank you.